fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating. Feminism, by definition, is the belief that men and women should have equal rights and opportunities. It is the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes.
When you're a baby, you're kind of forced into a market where as soon as you're born, you dress pink or you dress blue, and then that continues throughout your life.
One of my old teachers used to force me to be playing with kitchen stuff and pretending to play with dolls.
Would you say there's a big difference between boys and girls' toys?
No, I like playing with unicorns.
I would have preferred to be with the boys playing trucks and safari with the animals.
It's more possible for me to go to the shops and pick up something like the Star Wars thing, and I wouldn't style the hair of a Barbie. Some toys people play with both, so really like Lego can be a girl or a boy's toy, but things like Barbie and cars, it really matters what you're into.
It sort of feels like you're being forced, so you have to play with this instead of you can be who you want.
It is wrong, but it's hard to change because it is just implemented from when you were born.
If kids under 10 can get it, why can't adults? In recent cases from two major film franchises, key female characters were left out in merchandising for alleged reasons that the toys were marketed towards the young male audience rather than the audience as a whole. Even still, why eradicate the presence of the female characters? Surely that's just pushing ideals onto children. In the case of the Avengers, even actor Mark Ruffalo, who plays Hulk, took to Twitter to voice his and his daughter's disappointment about the lack of Black Widow toys. One key Age of Ultron scene even saw Black Widow replaced by another male Avenger in the release of the toys. Despite the companies eventually releasing lines of the female characters, this doesn't excuse the fact that there shouldn't have even been such an issue in the first place.
When I first heard it, it made me laugh because it was so ridiculous, and then you kind of thought, oh God, actually no, you know what? That's not funny. I was quite surprised if you take the lowest common denominator of like Marvel and Star Wars, who are all owned by Disney now, as we know, why you'd miss an opportunity to sell more bits of plastic.
In the eyes of their target audience, like Marvel films, Star Wars films, a lot of younger people watch it. And at that point, they don't get all this feminism and this thing. You're a kid. If you're a kid and you're a guy, you want a guy toy. If you're a girl, and if you're a kid and you're a girl, you want a girl toy.
With Star Wars, it was always a big part, the toys were always a huge part of the marketing. The fact that they didn't include Rey, that probably says something about Disney's policy on giving women the spotlight, I'd say.
I'm just surprised from that they would even consider sexism. They would even consider that. They would even consider anyone's feelings. They would just have, we're going to sell a character, we don't care whether they're a girl or whether they're gay or whether they're black or they're white or whatever. If they're a character in a film, we can make a model of them, we can sell it.
Rey was not sexualized or anything. She was badass. She was well crafted as a character, and she didn't rely on just sex appeal or a princess persona to be popular.
My little cousin and stuff, they all watch it, and we buy them Christmas presents and such. She loves Marvel, but there's not really many girl toys.
Regardless of how misogynistic or racist the Hollywood film industry may be sometimes, I'm amazed that they didn't have Star Wars toys of like Black Widow and Rey and two very famous characters and big franchises.
In making this documentary, I wanted to explore different opinions on the depiction of women in film and how this is also portrayed through wider aspects such as merchandising. The main thing that seemed to be the unanimous vote was that even in the current age where society is so much further ahead, the film industry just still holds back. Where we could now be seeing such a wide diversity in roles females play, for every step forward there's always inevitably 2 steps back to the same stereotypical viewpoints.
Do you think there's a fair representation of women through film?
No. Always no.
They're either over-sexualised or they have to be a victim in some way, or there's somehow that character has to be a novelty because they're female, and they can't just be a character. They have to be a female character.
You play a game, it's always a guy character. You watch a film, it's mainly like an action film, it's going to be a guy character. The only way you see a girl main character is mainly like a rom-com or something, and I feel that's just not right.
A message is implied, and stereotypes help to build that up. But sometimes I think people just choose that as an easy way out.
You get the Jessica Joneses and you get the Black Widows, and you think, oh, they're cool, and then you go, yeah, there's Black Widow, and oh, she's in a skin-tight catsuit.
Well, there's always going to be like movies where women are represented in a really equal manner. I would say like Room with Brie Larson. That was in a role like that you can't sexualize anything for crap because it's nothing. But in movies like Fast and Furious and Transformers, you'll always find women who are just used as objects, and unless it's like for satirical use or anything like that, whether it's trying to say something about the industry, women are still used as objects in film.
I want women to feel treated the same as a man, because there's no reason why they shouldn't be, because they can do everything a man does. Women can be behind the camera as much as a man, women can direct as much as a man, women can fight as much as a man, but everyone portrays it as they can't, and that's what's quite annoying, because everyone is capable of doing it.
If things don't start to change slightly soon, can we be sure that they ever will? The feminist movement is about introducing equality in all scenarios. To keep spreading this message, a group effort is needed so the benefits of this can continue to be seen across all platforms. In this case, these films are widely marketed towards children who are at such an impressionable age. We want to build the future generations up to be the best they possibly can be, but how will this happen if we're feeding them propaganda-style ideals through a wide expanse of media forms?
With these representations of these characters, since it's marketed towards kids, you need to be careful, because whatever's happening on screen is going to be put into a kid's mind and say, this is what's meant to happen, but it shouldn't really be what's the case.
It might drive a lot of girls off particular genres and particular films that actually they probably like. Or they would go, they're not for me because they don't have a girl in it. And my daughter does this a bit, she's 7, and she's got to get to the point when, oh, I don't want to watch that one because it doesn't have a girl in it. She sort of gets it. She's not quite old enough to do it consciously, but I sort of see the signs, and she'll root for the girl character because she's a girl. The same way that if there's a character on screen who's bald, I'm probably going to go, there's a bald guy, I'm going to root for him.
With the representation of men and women in film, with these kids' movies, it should be more carefully constructed and not just careless. Plus, if you're marketing it towards just the female or the male demographic, then that's pretty stupid.
Bottom line is they're going, you're alienating half your audience. Why would you do that? That's ridiculous.
We want to end gender inequality. And to do this, we need everyone involved.